Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode. Today we are talking with Mo from Adoption Star.
Hello.
Mo, can you tell me a little bit about Adoption Star?
Yeah, so Adoption Star is an agency that just turned 20 years old. We provide services for all members of what's called the Adoption Triad. That's all people involved in an adoption relationship. That means support throughout the perinatal period and throughout life for expectant parents or birth parents who make a plan through us. Education, support, and matching with adoptive parents, and we're LGBTQ welcoming. We provide community and resources for adoptees, that's adopted people, and outreach, teamwork, and services to our colleagues that serve individuals that might be facing an unexpected pregnancy and want to consider their options or make a plan.
Cool. And what do you do?
So I work with expectant parents who are considering their options, whether parenting, kinship care, ending the pregnancy, or making an adoption plan. If they choose to make an adoption plan, I work with them to identify the kind of adoption relationship they want. I take a complete social and medical background and find good adoptive parent matches to have an adoption relationship with them. We are really, really big open adoption advocates. So helping my clients build that relationship is really important to me. But I think that my job title, to like put it simply, is just a birth parent caseworker.
Cool. So you guys said you do open adoptions. What is like an open adoption versus a closed
Yeah.
adoption?
Okay, so there's three different types of adoption relationships that we can help somebody form. So if I get a call from somebody who's pregnant and they're like, I don't think that parenting at this time is right for me. Maybe I feel too young. I feel too old. I'm working on recovery from, a trauma or an addiction. I um, have a negative relationship with the father of the baby. There's so many different reasons that somebody might consider adoption. Um, and and closed adoption is sort of what you would think of as like what adoption always was like in past decades. You don't have any contact with the adoptive parents or the child, and you maintain your privacy. Semi-open adoption, you receive photos and letters every month for the first 6 months of the baby's life, and then again at 12 months and every year until the child is 18. um, some semi-open adoptions have email contact. It really depends on what the birth parents are comfortable with. And then we're huge advocates of open adoption. Most adoptions today have some level of openness in them. In open adoption, you would have visits with the adoptive family and the child, as well as get your photos and letters. And a lot of open adoptions even have more contact with that than that with like phone, FaceTime, email, because an open adoption at the end of the day is a relationship, and both parties establish it together. So it's it's really beautiful, powerful thing for that child, that adopted child, that they have their birth family and their adoptive family who love them and care for them and are looking out for their best interests. Goodbye.
Sorry about that. That's really awesome. That's super cool. I didn't know there were so many open adoption kind of things in Buffalo. I thought most adoptions were closed. It's cool to hear that.
No, yeah, open adoption is like I've rarely done a closed adoption. Most adoptions today are open.
Very cool. And then so you work with the birth mother. Is there other people that work then with the adoptive parents?
Yeah, I have three coworkers who work with adoptive families. Um, so our roles sort of intersect when I have a client who who's ready to find a family, um, and she might tell me, Mo, I'm looking for maybe two dads, and I hope that they're Christian, and I hope that they have a dog. I don't know. She can like narrow it down a variety of different ways. Or she might be really open. It doesn't matter. And I would bring these preferences to my coworkers who work with adoptive families, and and say, this is my client, um, and this is what she's looking for. This is the type of family she's looking for. She has some cancer in her family background, or mental health, or um, a disability somewhere in her family background. Like, just go through her complete social medical background and what she's looking for, and they would be like, okay, well, let's like find families that are good matches for her, and and the expectant father also, if he's involved. And they would pull these things called profiles, which are basically scrapbooks that adoptive families write about themselves, about their values and wishes for raising a child, so that a mom or a couple can get to know them, and make an informed decision. I also help facilitate conversations between them, whether in person. It's hard to do in person right now, so we're doing a lot of like FaceTime or phone. Um, and and if she wants to move forward with them and she make an adoption relationship with them, they can establish their own contact, and that's who we would make sure the baby's discharged to at the hospital. If they can spend time together in the hospital or not, it's totally up to that individual's birth plan. But yeah.
Very cool. And do you have an age limit that you work with, or is it like anybody who can get pregnant kind of thing?
Yeah, I would say that that's the case. So I've had clients who are youth. I've had clients who are um, older than me for sure. Um, it's anybody who's like facing an unplanned pregnancy that really feels that this is the right path for them. And also, if somebody's just not even sure and they just want to hear about services or options, I talk to them. Definitely, it's common for me to talk to youth and talk to teenagers. And in those situations, because adoption is a permanent plan, it's a lifelong plan. If they have supports or if they have parents who are involved, I love to get them involved, because while they're while they're not signing or having rights in the open adoption, only the biological parents and the adoptive parents are having rights and signing in that. Uh, they'll support this person through the grieving process. They'll support this person through, knowing their child in this relationship in the years to come. And so I love to encourage getting their families involved or their supports involved. And I've had some really good experiences with like young women and young families, you know, establishing really great open adoption relationships over the years.
So is it kind of like sexual health where you don't need parental consent, like the whole minors' rights kind of thing?
Yeah, so minors' rights in New York State do apply, as far as you can make your own decisions for prenatal care, or your pregnancy options. You can make your own decisions about that in New York State with minors' rights laws. However, for best practice, because adoption is a like lifelong decision, we encourage getting your family involved if you at all possibly can, because we want them to support you, but it's of course not not mandatory.
Very cool. And then what's the best way for someone who's interested in adoption services to like find out more about Adoption Star?
Yeah, so our agency's phone number is 716-639-3900. Somebody is on call 24/7 to answer questions for expectant parents who are considering their options or who want to talk about adoption services. And they'll usually connect them right to me or make an appointment right with me. I'm not always the one on call, but I'm the one who gets the appointment with expectant parents. And then for adoptive parents who are interested in growing their family through adoption, same number, but business hours.
Very cool. And then is there anything else about Adoption Star you wanted to mention before we end for today?
um, just that I'm really thankful to the team that has been working so hard through COVID to help, women and families still, grow their families or make a plan for for their baby. We've had a lot of different placements from here in Western New York out through Central New York the past couple months, and it has been crazy, but really, really rewarding. And I'm really proud of all the girls and the families that I've worked with.
That's really cool. You guys aren't just in Western New York. How far, how expansive is your agency?
Oh yeah. Well, we can work all throughout New York State. I've got a coworker down in New York City. I have gone pretty much all throughout the state for it, like wherever we get a call, wherever we get a referral. So anywhere from like here in Buffalo out to like the Albany area or like northern New York, or I'll work in like central and western New York a lot, the most obviously, or other states where the adoption laws are compatible. If somebody reads our agency's philosophy and they're like, oh yeah, like I would rather work with them. I've gone to other states before too. And then we have an office in Florida and an office in Ohio, and I've got two great coworkers out there.
Very cool. That's excellent to hear that you guys can like, work all over the place to help people.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, then I think we're going to end it there if you have nothing else you want to add.
No, I just thank you for reaching out to me. It's always good to see you again.
Definitely. It's great to see you. So if you guys who don't know, me and Mo used to work together as at Planned Parenthood, where I still am, before she left and went to Adoption Star to be, what is it, social worker or?
Yeah, I'm a caseworker.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, Planned Parenthood is still like a trusted referral resource, and I've like been to Planned Parenthood, like I said, all throughout the state to explain like options counseling for pregnant women, and it's been great. I've like seen even more Planned Parenthoods in New York, now than when I was working there, and it's great.
Yeah, because I've only seen like maybe 3 or 4 of our Planned Parenthood sites.
Right.
Awesome. Well, it was great talking to you, and we will talk soon.
All right. Bye, Kate.
Bye.